You're listening to Side by Side with Kathy Wilson, Episode 14, Party Animal. Hickory and I were waiting by our front door for my friend Andrea to pick us up for chorus rehearsal. I'd be willing to bet, with absolute certainty, that the best part of chorus rehearsal, as far as Hick is concerned, will be the coffee break. Ralph had been quick to notice that Hick was especially interested in the opening of the fridge door, a surreptitious trip to the cookie jar, or any sign of meal preparation. He also learned that she was adept at licking spoons and polishing bowls. Ralph had announced that she was a dog of many talents, and I certainly couldn't disagree. I was discovering new ones each day. I wouldn't bet against you on that one. She even likes coffee. Takes after you. Ralph just had to throw that in. And of course he was spot on the mark. Then Andrea was turning into our driveway and we were out the door. It was almost a month since I had seen her, but Andrea was more interested in meeting Hickory, and as usual, Hickory was eager to make a new friend. I got into the passenger seat of her car, and Hick sat at my feet. Wouldn't she be better on the back seat where she could stretch out and be comfortable? No, that's okay. This way your upholstery is safe from nails and drool. When she is where I can see her, I know exactly what she is doing. Oh, she's a good dog. I can tell that she never gets into trouble. How in the blazes could she know that? It was certainly news to me. When we arrived, I harnessed Hickory and noted the number of cars in the parking lot. Everyone was present. Yet it was still fairly early. It would be fantastic to see all my friends again, and better yet to be singing once more. I sang baritone in a ladies' barbershop chorus. It was the highlight of my activities because singing a harmony part offered both joy and challenge. After a whole month, I would be pretty rusty. There would be new music to learn, too. How was Hickory going to react to all this? She may prefer classical or jazz. Oh, well, we would certainly find out. I gave Hickory the follow command, and we entered the hall behind Andrea. The risers were set up and ready for rehearsal, but the ladies were greeting one another and getting caught up with everyone's news before things got serious. Hickory looked around at all these ladies with a delighted grin on her face and joyous anticipation. Oh, what fun, she seemed to be saying. The sentiments were certainly returned by the women as they perceived our presence. It was so good to be greeting all my friends again. These were the girls I sang with and created such beautiful harmonies. Hugs galore and laughter abounded, and my sweet Hickory wagged that tail till I feared it would fall off. Finally, our director, Linda, called "Risers," and we all took our places. I ordered Hickory to sit and stay beside the riser where I was standing. She felt secure if I was nearby, so I thought this would be ideal for her, right beside our singing stairway. It was about time. Meet and greet is all very well and good, but I needed to sing. I listened for the sound of the pitch pipe. In my chorus, the lady who blows the pitch was given the title of Pitch Bitch. I would have loved to do that, but the woman who blows the pitch has to see the director, and I can't always do that. Another thing beyond any hope of achieving was a position in the front row rather than the second. This is the row which does all the dancing. You know, it is like the front line of dancers doing the can-can. Lots of high kicks, showing the facial expression needed, and was never a problem for me. But getting the steps to coincide with everyone else's seemed less than doable. Still, it would have been nice. Make no mistake, though, singing is the main thing. Then I heard the pitch, and all four parts were singing their notes. We were on our way, and the choreography slipped into my mind. Then the chorus blended around me. Oh, I had missed this so much. It can be break time yet. Linda was calling a halt to our practice, and it seemed to me as though we had just begun. Hickory and I followed the rest of the ladies to the coffee pot. On further reflection, stopping for a break was really a good idea. My throat was feeling dry. Obviously, my rustiness was making its presence felt. Kathy, bring Hickory over here. You have to see this. Linda was calling me, so I left my place in line and asked Hickory to find Linda. Both of us were curious and moved to the back of the room where a table displayed a large cake with musical notes and roses around the edge. Written in the cake center with bright pink icing was, "Welcome, Hickory." Now this was a complete surprise, and I was told that I had to cut the first piece. Make it a good one because it's for Hickory. No, Hickory can't have cake. All that sugar would put on too many pounds, and I am required to keep her at a healthy weight. I could tell that a lot of my friends thought I was being mean. I felt mean, but my girl's health was more important than what anyone thought of me. It was a delicious cake, but it didn't stop there. Andrea and Shirley brought a table laden with presents for Hickory, or so the sign proclaimed. What a stack of them there were! Did anyone ever feel more welcome than Hickory did on that evening, with presents galore and so many people making a fuss over her? You have to unwrap them so everyone can see what Hickory thinks of her gifts. Saying this, Andrea put a gift bag into my hand, and Hickory inspected the bag, and her tail was expressing complete appreciation and approval. What a haul Mike Hick came home with that night. There were bags and boxes of treats, several Kongs, squeaky toys, balls, pig's ears, and dentabones. No kid out trick-or-treating on Halloween could have been happier than Hickory. She was ready to eat everything, but her crazy cat had other ideas. Wow, Hickory, what a lucky girl you are. You can have one treat, but only one. You choose. She surveyed her booty and selected a pig's ear, but grabbed a nylabone at the same time. Amid so much laughter from the chorus members, how could I take one of her treats away? Once again, that partner of mine had put one over on me, as Hickory no doubt thought. All's fair in love and treats. All the gifts took 2 packing boxes to bring home. What a shower that was from a very generous chorus, who not only made Hickory feel great, but made me feel accepted. Harmony definitely flowed that evening in more ways than in song. The next morning, Ralph was checking out all of Hickory's treasures. That's so much. You will need a pack of dogs to eat it. And how many Kongs does one dog need? Until Hickory came, I hadn't heard of a Kong. No, they were new to me, too. I was wondering about all the goodies. I don't want Hickory to eat too much, and as you say, some toys are good, but perhaps we might give some of this to the school. I know that with training so many dogs, there would be a use for them. Oh, that's a good idea. Isn't Greg coming for a visit next week? I agreed with Ralph that this was certainly the case, and I could give him the surplus of goodies then. On the day of Greg and Linda's visit, summer was peeking around the corner, and temperatures were on the increase. Days were still comfortable, and Greg suggested that we take a walk in my area and stop for coffee someplace. Linda thought this an excellent idea, so the four of us set out for a tour of my home stomping ground. I understood that my team was being observed to be certain there were no problems and that we were comfortable working together. Greg commented that he liked my neighborhood and thought it would be ideal for training students and dogs alike. I love where I live, so many mature shade trees. A lot of the homes aren't new either. To me, it feels like home. As we reached the plaza, I suggested Tim Hortons because it was close and we could chat over coffees. Greg brought the coffees and asked me how we were doing together. We're gradually getting into my old routines, and it is as I hoped. Things are far easier now, and my girl has taken away all my anxiety. I trust her, which is something I have not been good at in the past. If I am not sharp, she doesn't hesitate to carry out her own plans, but why not? She has rights too. I told them about going to the bar instead of the milk store, and how she attempted to take me to the Dairy Queen. We all laughed. She is sneaky, Greg noted. I told them about the doggy shower my chorus had for Hickory, and that I was sending a lot of goodies back with him for the dogs being trained in the kennels. That will be greatly appreciated. I don't think I've ever heard of a doggy shower before. That must have pleased you both. It told me that all was good where my chorus was concerned. That's a big part of my life. As we returned to my home, Greg observed that Hickory seemed to know where she was going before I gave her direction. That's true. Now I just say, Hickory, let's go home, and she knows the way. I don't have to count the cross streets. That proves you and Hickory have been working together a lot. That's good to hear. Linda was giving me encouragement. Turning onto my street, I asked that question that was never far from my mind. Hickory still had an attachment to Greg, which was easy to detect. Not at all surprising considering that it was only 2 weeks since I left the school, but I needed to be sure that the bond I wanted so badly was going to happen. Greg just looked at me. It will happen. There are signs I see already. You're doing fine. Ralph and I watched as Greg and Linda pulled out of our driveway. How did things go? Ralph asked. They didn't take Hick back, so I must be at least competent. It's a good thing that Hickory wasn't doing the evaluation, I laughed. She would probably give you a failing grade on showing generosity with treats. I grinned at Ralph's remark. Half my chorus would probably agree with her, too. Is that it? Will they check up on you again? Yes, that's it. She was my partner the night we graduated. This was just touching base. She makes a big difference for you. I can see the change, but I really don't understand it. I've never walked in your shoes. We entered our home. Shall I make a pot of tea? I asked as I hung up Hickory's leash and harness. That would be good. Are there any of those cookies left? Ralph looked hopeful. I'll put the kettle on and you can hit the cookie jar. There are some oatmeal cookies left. Shall we sit in the garden? I'd like that. Perhaps Hickory will chase another rabbit. Hickory gave herself a confident shake. This time I'll catch it, too.